A lot of people ask me how I learned Swedish so fast in less than a year and good enough to get a job in the healthcare field as a nurse here in Sweden. That's a level where mistakes actually matter. But here's the truth. Swedish in and of itself is not really a hard language. The environment you're learning it in, that's the real challenge. If you live in Sweden and have been trying to learn Swedish, you've probably experienced this. You try to speak Swedish to people here and practice what you've learned, but then they automatically switch to English. It's so frustrating, isn't it? And it can make you feel like you're not progressing. Many people, after a while, they just stop trying. And that's why so many people who try to learn Swedish struggle. Not necessarily because learning Swedish is impossible, but because the system around you makes it hard to practice. Heads up, I'm not a language teacher. I'm just your humble, everyday, run-of-the-line, run-of-the-mill nurse who works in Sweden and had to learn Swedish. I am not a young person. I started learning at the age of 39, and I also have a learning disability, so I am no one special. And honestly, that's probably good for you guys, because that helped me to find ways to learn the language in a way that actually works. So in this video, I'm going to show you what helped me to learn the language of Swedish from zero, only knowing how to say, hey, och tack så mycket, or hello and thanks so much, to being able to work as a registered nurse, in fact, a specialist nurse in a hospital setting, and now being here in Sweden for 4.5 years. Number one, you have to start speaking from day one. You got to get some good habits going. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Even after many years, sometimes I doubt my own self, and I have a lot of imposter syndrome. It is what it is. Just start using it from day one. What do you do when they switch to English? Keep on trying to speak Swedish. It's the only way you're going to learn. And a lot of times, they're just trying to facilitate the conversation and help you out. So the best thing to do, just keep trying. If you don't know a word in Swedish, say the sentence in Swedish and use the English word. You don't have to be rude, of course. Just stay in the language. And that's how you train people to speak Swedish with you. Number two, total immersion in the workplace. For me, the biggest accelerator was working in the language. Of course, I took several months of Swedish at a university level, but a lot of the stuff I was just cramming, trying to get through, trying to pass exams, and I wasn't actually using on a daily basis. In fact, a lot of the stuff I learned, I don't even remember because there was a lot of theory, a lot of studies of literature, and a lot of concepts that I don't even remember. Now, getting a job and totally immersing yourself into the language, I know it's not possible for everyone, but the idea is simple. You need total immersion. It doesn't have to be at your workplace. It could even be at home. If you're married to someone who speaks Swedish, that's a great example. Speak Swedish at home all the time. Or just putting yourself in a situation where you are around Swedish every day. Maybe you are a digital nomad and work online. Maybe stationing yourself at a coffee shop and having Swedish around you all the time is a great idea. Having Swedish music going on, watching Swedish TV, following Swedish social media. The more your brain is forced to adapt, the faster it learns a language. Number three, listen to Swedish all day. Even if you don't understand anything, it's very important to get used to the rhythm of the language and how it sounds. It's just like learning a guitar. In the beginning, you can't tell the difference between the different notes. But with time, you can train yourself. It's the same thing with a language. You will start to notice patterns. You will hear certain words over again and again. And then one day, something clicks and you think, what does that word mean that I keep hearing? That's actually what's happening with me with the Arabic language. I hear words over and over among a lot of my patients who speak Arabic. And so I just turn to my coworker or to a family member or to the interpreter and I say, hey, I noticed they're saying this word over and over. What does that mean? And then it sticks with me. And I'm not even really trying to learn Arabic, but I remember all these words that I keep hearing and I ask questions about. If there's no one to tell you what the word means, look it up. When you're on the bus driving through the neighborhood and you see a sign and you keep passing that sign every day and you think, what does that mean? Well, look it up. And then when you pass the sign again, that will help you remember that word. It's a very organic way to learn the language. Number four, stay curious. Be curious about everything. Labels, signs, menus. Ask questions. Look up words. Anytime you see something, like I said earlier, if it keeps popping up, Maybe it's an important word. Look it up, write it down, put it on your cell phone notes. Try to use it that day at least a few times. Number 5, build a foundation. For me, that meant taking classes. I'm one of those that needs structure. There are people that can teach themselves a language completely independently, but most people need some structure in the beginning. Otherwise, you risk building bad habits that are very difficult to change later on. Know your learning style and build from there. So for me, that was taking a course at the university level, getting my basics, and then just jumping on out there in the work field and using the language. Number 6, this can be so uncomfortable. Change your devices. Switch your phone, your TV, your computer, everything to Swedish mode. It's so uncomfortable at first, but that's the point. You're forcing your brain to adapt. Number 7, consume content. Podcasts, YouTube, TikTok, social media, the list goes on and on. There are so many things out there in Swedish that you can watch. And I highly urge you to watch and consume as much of it as possible, especially on topics that you are interested in. This is something that I am currently doing and building my vocabulary even larger. You're not just learning words, you're learning tone and culture and behavior and body language. You're learning how real people actually speak. Textbook Swedish and real Swedish are not exactly the same. Number 8, read, read, read. Once you are more stable, start reading. A lot of people told me read child's books. Didn't work for me because I was not interested and I found it quite embarrassing. This step will take you from, yeah, I can get by in the language, to I actually feel more fluent. Reading expands your vocabulary in a way that listening cannot. And this is how you move past the B2 plateau. Number 9, surround yourself with Swedish speakers. And more importantly, people who speak Swedish to each other, because then you're not controlling the conversation. You are adapting to it. And that's where real growth happens. Number 10, limit your native language. This one is so tough, but so powerful. Limit your native language, especially early on. Your brain always has an easy option, and it's gonna take it. You need a little pressure to grow. Out of fingers here. Number 11, have humor. You're gonna make mistakes, and some of them are pretty crazy mistakes like I have made. Some of them will be quite embarrassing. Just laugh. If you take yourself too seriously, you're going to stop trying and you're going to get stressed and it's going to affect your learning. 12, be patient. Language learning is not a linear thing. Some days you're going to feel more fluent than other days. I often joke, I have bad days and I tell people, don't worry about me. I'm not having a stroke. My tongue is just in a knot. There will be some days you feel like you don't know anything. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're stressed, maybe you got up on the wrong side of the bed, whatever. And that's normal. Be patient and don't quit during the bad days. Number 13, and this is going to be one that I hope I don't lose you guys on, and that is use artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT. It's extremely helpful for correcting mistakes, explaining grammar, and practicing conversations. Because let's get real, most native speakers can't explain to you why they do certain things grammatically. They say, it just is that way, or I don't know, or it sounds right. And you need an explanation to build on that foundation you have so you have good habits. Sometimes it's quicker and easier just to use the tools that are at your hands to learn a new word and to make sure that you're doing things correctly rather than asking around, hey, why did that sound weird, or why do we do this? Just use the tools that are available. Number 14, manage your stress. Stay calm. Stress kills learning. If you're overwhelmed, your brain will not learn and cannot retain information. So slow down when it's needed. Consistency beats intensity. Number 15, join activities. Join group activities at the gym. Join a running team. Do art classes. Do painting. Do ceramics. Go horseback riding with a group. These are great ways to learn and to make friends. You're going to learn vocabulary that's associated with the activity. And also, it's been proven that if you are doing something physical at the same time as learning the words, they are going to become more deeply imprinted in your brain. This will relieve the pressure, it'll help you be more relaxed, put you in a good mood, and it'll make learning more natural. At the end of the day, learning Swedish isn't about talent. It's about exposure, consistency, and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's what worked for me, at least. If you're learning Swedish right now, let me know in the comments what you're struggling with. And I'll see you in the next video.